No choice. Here comes the smolder.
Oh my God, y'all. We have all the drama this week.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome back to Tangled Up in Disney. This is episode 8. It is currently Tuesday, January 17th, 2023. We are going to be talking all the updates, all the drama, all things Disney. I hope you're ready, Cozy.
I think I'm ready, but I saw your notes and I was like, I don't know if I had that many.
I went deep. I did a deep dive because
you went
there's
Reddit deep?
I was about to because there's lawsuits on both Disneyland and Disney World side. There's this 80-year-old grown man who's acting like a toddler who's not getting his way.
Sounds like Twitch chat. Wait. Some days.
Sorry, Twitch chat.
Some days.
Sorry.
Still love you.
Some days. So for big Disney fans, you guys have probably read or heard the name Nelson Peltz. I promise we are going to dive into that. I just want to talk the baby stuff first. So if you want to hear some Nelson Peltz drama, stick around. But we're going to talk some other news and updates, and then we will dive into that.
What other updates
as always,
are there?
what other updates? Oh my goodness. So we talked a little bit about some last week before we talked the Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
There was so much. And bless you, y'all, we had something else totally planned for this week. And like 2 or 3 days ago, I messaged Cozy and I'm like, so there's been too much that's happening. I think we need to make this an update episode. So bless you for taking the time after you had already done the research for the previous episode idea to scrap it so that we could talk these updates, because a lot has happened.
I mean, it wasn't super hard to research, so I'm good for next week now.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's go.
I'm not. I'll have to do more research on that. But I
got 2 pages for that.
Nice.
My little notepad.
Man, I don't even know where to start. Let's start Disneyland. I have a lot of Disneyland stuff this week, which I love.
Yeah,
I don't usually have a lot of Disneyland.
That's mine.
I know.
Park.
What do you have any Disneyland stuff this week?
I mean, actually, I feel like I have more Disney World stuff.
It's honestly not shocking.
I got some. The one I sent. I think I sent it to you this past week was Tiana's Palace is coming to Disneyland.
Yeah.
The restaurant. And
I'm really excited for that update.
Yeah. And they're turning the French Market restaurant into Tiana's. What I didn't know is that the film designers for Tiana, the Princess and the Frog, actually took inspiration from the French Market restaurant when they were designing Tiana's Palace restaurant.
Oh, awesome. You know what? That's probably why they're closing it, but they're opening it again later this year. Sorry. So that's probably why they're able to make it such a quick update, is they're keeping a lot of things then, it sounds like, which is good.
Yeah. So
I like quick turnarounds.
Yeah, and I didn't know that I thought it was cool that they took inspiration from that and now they're just, I guess, like swapping it.
Yes.
I think that'll be fun.
Oh, I'm excited. I like new restaurants. I like new things getting opened. It's going to go really well when the Tiana's Bayou Adventures are all done being completed. The Splash Mountain refurb. I like the bringing
Disneyland
together of all the
too.
theming.
Right?
They're doing both.
Oh, okay.
I know the Disney World dates. I don't know if maybe I've missed the Disneyland dates or they haven't done it yet. But both are going to be updated, so they will come together into their own things, which will be great.
I do not have a date on my paper, but who knows? I could have missed something because there's a lot.
So we talked about Park Hop got updated for Disneyland. So Disneyland, you can Park Hop starting at 11 a.m. And that starts February 4th, which is big. That's an earlier time than Disney World, and I love it for y'all because y'all just walk and you're there.
Yeah, it was one, which I mean wasn't bad, but if you're done, it's like, well, what do I do? Twiddle my thumbs and go eat lunch until it's time to pop. So that's kind of nice.
Right. What I think is fun about that. So I'm probably going to say his last name wrong. I'm so sorry to him, but so the current head of Parks Experiences and Products, which is also called DPEP, but the head Josh, I think it's Demaro. He had a conversation with some reporters and media this week, and he has said that some of these park hop changes and upcoming changes to the park reservation system itself is just the start of the changes. They're planning on making it a better experience overall. And the park hopping was such a big part of that because, like, especially Disney World. Disney World's still on a 2 p.m. Park hop time before you can go over. But the park reservations made it difficult because it's like, okay, well, we can't get Magic Kingdom this day, or maybe you couldn't get Disneyland for park reservations. You'd have to wait until 1 or 2 p.m., go to one of the other parks to then re-enter your park hop park, which Disneyland way easier, right? So like, let's say you wanted to get into Disneyland and it was full, so you had to do California Adventure for your reservation that day.
Yeah.
You have to go to your original park before you can park hop into your new park. So Disneyland,
it's just, like, right across from each other.
You just walk across from each other. You go into Disneyland, immediately turn around and leave. It's way harder in Disney World because you have to go to Epcot, get into Epcot, leave, take the monorail or a bus or drive your way back to Magic Kingdom, which is at least a 20-30 minute travel trip, to then enter Magic Kingdom.
Okay, I didn't realize that they were that far apart.
From the time you enter Disney Springs or the downtown Disney area in Florida, it takes 30 to 45 minutes to drive all the way back to Magic Kingdom.
Oh, I don't know if I would like that.
It takes forever to park hop in Disney World.
It's so nice because you're out of the gates of Disneyland and then you take like 20 steps and you're in California Adventure.
Yeah, and your downtown Disney's right around the corner too.
Yeah. It's like that way.
You don't have to go anywhere. Yeah, it's way more difficult in Disney World. So the park hopping being changed for Disneyland hopefully means they can change some of the park hopping times for Disney World coming soon. Maybe change some of the requirements to where you don't need to enter your first choice park before you park hop. Maybe it's just say, hey, after 11 you can enter whatever, we don't care. And then hopefully some better changes coming to the park reservation system because they're stressful.
Oh yeah, well it said that in Disney World, they're making annual pass holders not need to make a reservation, but it says after 2 p.m. Did I read that right?
Yep. So annual pass holders can enter any park they want after 2 p.m. without a prior park reservation, except for Magic Kingdom on the weekends.
Right.
So they can't do it with Magic, which makes sense. That's the big park for Disney World. So woohoo for annual pass holders. Good for y'all. The downside of that is you still can't buy annual passes for Disney World right now. Those are still blocked.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, the only people who have them are the people who had them prior to COVID and have continued to renew through COVID.
Okay.
So like, there's still people that have annual pass holders, or there's still people that are annual pass holders, but it's far fewer. And you can't buy anything new currently, but good for them. Hopefully good for the vlogs I like to watch, because that means Tim Tracker can go into whatever park he wants after 2 p.m. and I get more Disney videos now. Fingers crossed. Yay, more content for me. To consume, not to make. One day
Disney will have us.
Yes. Speaking of annual passes, especially today, Disneyland's Magic Key, so their annual passes went back on sale today. They have 4 tiers. One of them is renewal only, so you can only renew. You can't repurchase it. But they do have 3 other tiers that are for sale, and they range from, I think it's like $1,000 up to $1,700.
Oh my
I had it
gosh.
screenshot at one point or another. Okay, Imagine is $450, and that's for SoCal residents only. So only if you live, which I think is like Anaheim and South. I don't know how they define Southern California. They have like specific zip codes. So that's $450 for Southern California residents. And then it's $1,100 for a standard pass holder, and then $1,600 for their top tier pass holder.
Oh my good gracious.
Which, honestly, the only difference I see between those, there might be some different blackout dates that like the lower tiers have that the high tier doesn't. It doesn't show me on here. You do get an extra 10% off of merchandise, and that's the only difference I see.
I was like, that's a lot of money, but you go
That's
like
a lot of money.
But you go like 2 times in a year, and it's almost paid for.
I feel like it depends, because it's depending on where you're coming from and how many days you're going. Like if you only go over a weekend, it's $250 a person for 2-day tickets. So like if you're only going for a weekend and you're just paying for your tickets, it's like not huge, I guess. I mean, I joked, and I was looking at them for Trey and I one day, and for the 3 of us, it would be like $3,000 a year for annual passes. Whereas if we go for a week-long trip, it's like $1,500, $2,000 for our tickets altogether, I think, which is still a lot, right? So like to your point, if I go 2 times in a year for us for a long trip,
Yeah.
like if we take 2 weeks, I think it might be worth it. But anything shorter than that, I don't think so. Like
No.
if I see a lot of UK people take like 2 to 3 week trips.
Yeah.
It's probably worth it for them, even for that one trip.
Sense. That makes sense for them.
But yeah, no. But hey, so Magic Keys are for sale for Disneyland. When I looked earlier, there was an hour wait on the website to be able to purchase annual passes. Excuse me, I looked at like 2 p.m. Eastern today. But I tried looking again like an hour ago, and there was no wait. I got into the website right away, and it was like, go ahead and pick which annual pass you want. So it looks like they still have a ton readily available, which at that price point doesn't surprise me.
Tempting. Except it's not, but I want one just to say that. What are they called? The
Magic Keys.
I want to be called the Magic Keys. Like
a magic key holder.
Yeah.
They're cool. Like you get perks with them, you get information.
Look at me. I got the magic keys.
I got the magic key.
I've got
the magic.
We talked last week about parking is now they're making parking free at the resort hotels again, which
woo!
I can't believe it wasn't.
It was a pain. So like 10, I think even maybe like 6 to 10 years ago, I was a hard proponent of you do not stay off of Disney property when you take a Disney trip. There was no reason to. You had the Magical Express for Orlando, which was the bus that would take you from the airport to your specific hotel. It didn't even drop you off somewhere random. Like it specifically dropped you off at your hotel. They would pick up your luggage for you at the end of your trip. They would take your luggage, so you wouldn't even have to worry about like checking your luggage anywhere. They handled all of your luggage. They had transportation to and from the parks for free. They gave you extra magic hours, which were extra time the park was either open before or after. They had all of this stuff available for you for if you stayed on property. And it's all gone now. Not to mention when they took Magical Express away, just before that, they started charging you nightly for your vehicle being on property if you were staying at the hotel. And that added up. It was like, it was like an extra $30 a night to park your rental car there. I'm like, I'm already paying $100+ a day for a rental car to drive me around because I don't want to deal with your transportation. And you took Magical Express away. Now I have to pay you another $150 for a 5-night trip to park my car here.
Mm.
So that is one very good rollback that they've done, is remove that cost of having your car parked, because it's just another step towards, okay, now you can go ahead and you can stay on property again. Because like right now, I'll look up trips to go. I don't have a staying on property ever. I always get like a vacation condo off property because it's cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't get the perks anymore for staying on property. There's no point.
No, we don't. When I went with my roommate for the 60th anniversary of Disneyland, we went and we stayed at the Grand Californian, which was very fancy.
I love
It
it.
was very fancy. But any other time we just stay off the park, and we get a hotel like right across the street. It's not that far, but it's always cheaper.
And it's way easier in Anaheim to do that too.
Oh, super easy.
Because you have everything right there.
It's like a 5-minute walk, 10 minutes.
It's great.
It's awesome. I love it.
So I'm excited that they made that change. Hopefully they make a couple more. One thing that they've done that is another perk towards staying on property. So they had taken away the Disney dining plan, which was an option where if you're staying on property, they give you. They had different options where you could buy just snacks. You got credits for snacks, you got credits for quick service meals, and quick credits for table meals. So that would be built into your package price for your room and your tickets. You wouldn't have to pay anything extra when you got there for food unless you ran out of credits. They took that away, which I was 70 happy for, 30 not happy. I would use. At this point, having a toddler, I would use the dining plan more now.
Yeah.
I would use the dining plan more now than I would have with just Trey and me.
Yeah. Does Disneyland? I don't think Disneyland has that.
I don't know if they did. They don't currently.
Okay. Because I've never heard of that before until you mentioned it a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, so one thing that they're doing right now that's cool, it's select dates. It's over the summer, June 25th through September 14th for Disney World. You can get up to either $750 or $1,000 in dining gift cards staying on property. So you have to be staying at a Disney hotel. There are specific dates you have to fit into. You have to stay, I think it's at least 4 nights.
Oh, geez.
And then the amount that you get is specific per hotel. So, for example, where did I have it? I have it outlined here somewhere. I have so many Disney notes all over my computer right now. So, for example, if you're staying in one of the value resorts, which are their quote unquote bottom tier resorts, you can get up to $50 per room per night in food gift cards staying specific dates. So if you're staying for 5 nights, they're going to give you $250 in gift cards to be used at Disney restaurants on property.
Ooh.
I'd
take that.
And that, look, that's good. All the way up to like the deluxe resorts, you can get $150 per room per night. So it's depending on your length of your stay, it can be anywhere from $750 to $1,000 of gift cards in your pocket.
I want that.
So I'm glad that they're doing something. It's only for a short time. It's only to bring people in for the summer, which nobody wants to go to Florida in the summer. It's too hot. But
oh yeah, no. Speaking of weather, like that segue.
Yeah.
I thought it was. Did you see that Blizzard Beach was closed today because of cold weather?
Yeah, they had a cold snap come through.
I was like, what? And so it's like, okay, how cold are they saying is cold?
Okay, well, you're Canadian, so.
Like, we'd be outside an outdoor pool and like blizzard. No, we wouldn't. But yeah, I was like, what? It closed because of cold weather? I never thought I would see that happen.
Yep. So, fun story as we're segueing and we're talking about it. When I was doing my internship there, Yeah, so their low tonight is 59. They had a high of 75 today. That's why they closed it. That's
What
funny.
is 75?
75 Fahrenheit is like, is it 20 Celsius? 75 Fahrenheit to Celsius.
No.
23 Celsius.
No, that's like balmy here.
Oh my
That's
God.
like
You Canadians.
get in your swimsuit, get outside.
Blech.
Wow.
So
That's crazy.
when I was on my internship there, I was working in Hollywood studios. I worked in food and we were doing ice cream this night. And I will never forget this because the park was closed for a cheerleader thing. So they always do like the cheerleader competitions down in Orlando.
Yeah.
So the park was closed for these cheerleaders and their families to come in, and we had parents nonstop. Can you sell us beer? Can you sell us beer? And we're like, no. Your company actually decided to not allow us to sell alcohol. So sorry about your luck and you have to deal with your annoying daughters, but
they're like,
whatever.
Can you please help me get through this weekend?
Seriously. So it was freezing. And like when I say freezing, so here I am in Orlando. They have these heavy winter coats that they're giving to everybody. And we're standing in this ice cream shop, literally shivering because it was so cold outside. It was like middle of February, a really, really cold evening. I think it was like 47 Fahrenheit, which is probably like 10 Celsius. I don't know. Let me look. 8 Celsius. I'm getting really good at these conversions.
I have no idea.
It was like 8 Celsius. It was so cold. And it shocked me because I'm like, Disney World is never cold. What are you talking? It was freezing.
Yeah. That'd be weird.
So, I don't blame them for closing down the water park because it was very cold that day.
I don't know, 23 degrees Celsius.
23.
That's nice.
Oh my God.
That's like my ideal. That's like perfect weather.
Jeez. Couple refurb things. Rock and Roller Coaster in Hollywood Studios in Orlando is closing on February 20th for a refurb. They are redoing that ride. They're not changing anything to my knowledge.
Which one? Sorry.
Rock and Roller Coaster. It's the Aerosmith ride. It's one of my absolute favorite roller coasters in Disney. I love it. I don't know if they're gonna really. There's been rumors that they were gonna change stuff, but I think they're just updating it so that it's like more comfortable. Maybe a better queue. I don't know. So that closes on February 20th. I'm interested to see what happens.
Another refurbishment one, but it's just exterior. Space Mountain is getting an exterior remodel.
Thank God, it needs it. That's in Disney World or Disneyland?
I believe that was World.
Which is good. It's right next to the Tron ride, and it probably just looks outdated. They probably just need to fix it up.
Mm-hmm. Which that opens soon too, right?
Yes, April 4th.
April 4th. Opening
and
day.
Walt Disney World reservations are still available. I checked today.
Oh,
just
are
to
they?
See. All parks are still available, so that hasn't been locked out yet.
Okay, because I read that opening day of Tron ride reservations have reached capacity.
Genie Plus reservations, like ahead of time reservations may have, but you can still get into Magic Kingdom itself. So it might be like buy ahead Genie Plus, which maybe I don't understand Genie Plus well enough. I thought you couldn't buy it ahead, but maybe you can.
Yeah, I thought you had to be in the park.
Yeah, I really got to look into Genie Plus more. More things that are opening. Ariel's Grotto is available to meet Ariel starting January 22nd, along with Enchanted Tales with Belle on February 19th.
Yep.
And both of those will be available for Genie Plus selections. And Pete's Silly Sideshow, where you can meet Minnie, Daisy, Donald, and Goofy, is already open.
Oh, yeah.
Which is good. Good for them.
Good for you, sweetie.
You can meet people now. I'm so happy there. Speaking of bringing back characters just in general, Cinderella's Royal Table is also bringing back character dining starting February 28th. It was limited character dining. So I think they came and got you from your table and said, let's go take a picture. And you got a distanced picture with Cinderella and then sent you back. I think now it's back to normal where the princesses just walk around the restaurant and talk to you, which is way better.
Yeah. No, I like that they're getting back to more of the where you can meet the character because
Yes.
when Briggs always asks when we're going to go back to California, I want to go back to Disney. It's like, okay, we will. And somebody asked him if he saw Mickey Mouse. He's like, I didn't see Mickey. I was like,
Oh,
dude,
no.
we were only there for a day. So we were like speed running Disney.
Right.
And then also there's like COVID stuff. So I don't even know if you could go see them. Anyways, so next time we're going to have to make sure like we stay in line and like, oh, look.
Get Mickey.
Yeah. The Mickey Mouse is here.
I promise. You can meet him.
He is here. Spat everywhere.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Buffets are back starting March 1st, at least in Disney World. Yay, buffet. I prefer family style dining where they bring massive amounts of food to your table and then they bring you more upon request. I don't like buffets, but maybe this will make the food easier to handle. I don't know, maybe less food waste.
I don't mind buffets. When we did character dining, we did it once for my 18th birthday, and it was like a breakfast. It was like a breakfast buffet. It was really good.
Honestly, if buffets could go away completely, like one thing to come out of COVID, if buffets just disappeared overall, I'd be so happy. All these people coming up, they've been coughing into their hands, probably picking their nose. They're touching the tongs that you're grabbing. So you're touching the same tongs. Yeah, right? That like 80 other people have touched. The people don't know how to cover their mouth when they cough. So they're coughing and sneezing on food. They're talking onto the food and spitting onto it.
Never mind. I don't like buffets either.
Buffets are a hard no for me.
That's like a cesspool of germs.
I can't do it.
And I'm a germaphobe too. Yeah. Ooh,
It's so funny. It's the things that you like think about as you get older, and then especially as you have kids. Like none of this would have bothered me before.
Well, and then
especially
COVID
before
too.
COVID,
Yeah,
I wouldn't have cared.
Yeah.
Post COVID, I'm like, oh my god, do you realize how disgusting buffets are?
Did you just touch that?
They can all die a fiery death and never come back. It'd be great. But you know what is also great that isn't dying a death? Mickey Toontown in Disneyland is opening back up on March 8th.
Fully open?
Fully open.
Oh,
Mickey,
that's
yay.
exciting.
They took that one away from Disney World, so that's a Disneyland specific now.
They gave that a whole new makeover, right?
A whole new world. Yeah, they did.
Okay, because like when I went like 7 years ago, it was looking a little like old. It was like, oh, it's supposed to be cartoonish and stuff, but it's like, I feel like they could do more with it. So that's exciting.
That is old. Today, as long as I read the note right, it may have been yesterday based on when I was reading the story, but they started construction on the incoming Big Hero 6 portion of California Adventure. They're draining the lagoon, so Pacific Wharf, so that they can add in San Francisco from Big Hero 6, which they talked about at D23.
Oh my gosh, I must have missed that.
Yeah, so they just drained the lagoon either like yesterday, today, something like that, so they can start the construction for it. So that is underway.
Oh, that's so exciting.
With no completion ETA, but I love seeing stuff get done.
Well, yeah, that's true. And I saw, I think I sent it to you. This is Disney World, the Moana attraction. Did you watch that interview? There's an interview, Moana attraction. The like Imagineer who's bringing the journalist through was like telling her about the water and like it'll react to movement. And I was like, whoa, like you walk by something or something, the water just like
I can't wait. I'm really excited for that one.
Great. And it looks so good.
It looks gorgeous. They're doing a great job of it.
Yeah.
Oof. They really stepped it up. Their new attractions, Tron looks great. The Guardians of the Galaxy in Epcot looks fantastic. This one, the pictures are looking so good. The Guardians ride they put in DCA that replaced Tower of Terror. As sad as I am that it's not Tower of Terror anymore, it looks amazing. They are doing such incredible work with storytelling on these things. It's so fun to see.
And that's the reason that's one of the reasons I love Disney. I don't love theme parks. Like I'm not a big roller coaster person. but I will ride like Space Mountain. I think that's considered a roller coaster, right? But I like it.
Yeah.
I like the rides in Disney because they're all like stories and it's storytelling rather than just let's throw
so
you on
good.
this metal rust bucket and send you in loop-de-loops to make you dizzy. There's like a story, and I'm like, okay, I can do this if it's a story and Disney stuff. That's why I like Disney.
It's I love the storytelling that they do.
Yeah.
It's why their movies are so good, and it translates so well into the parks. It's amazing.
Well, I think that's why they're as successful as they are.
Yeah.
It's because of that storytelling.
100%. Sorry, I'm trying to like read. So speaking of storytelling, have you seen the new Elsa animatronic that they're putting in at Hong Kong and then a clone of it in Tokyo?
No.
Okay. So
does it actually look like her?
Yeah. So
good.
Frozen Ever After. I've been on that ride twice. It's in Epcot in the one in Epcot in So Frozen Ever After. I've been on it twice in Epcot in Disney World. And I cried both times I was on it because it looked so good. It was amazing.
Callie's just there.
The picture that they take of you, my eyes are like red and puffy because I've just like cried my way through the ride because it looks amazing. But what they do with those animatronics is they have a face projection. So it looks just like Elsa and Anna and everybody because it's a face projection so that they don't have to have like the weirdness of the eyes and mouth moving. It is not like that in Hong Kong and Tokyo.
Oh.
It is a full-on animatronic, moving eyes, moving mouth.
But it looks real?
Looks amazing.
Oh, wow.
It looks so good. Like,
so it's not like Small World vibes of like the dolls in there. It's like, bam, you're in the movie and the movie's in real life.
It is incredible. If y'all haven't seen it yet, there's been a bunch of people who have tweeted it out. Scott Gustin on Twitter, it's ScottGustin. He has a 13-second clip of it. He has two 13-second clips of it, actually. It looks amazing. Go look at it because it is. I have an engineering degree. I wanted to get my engineering degree because I wanted to go work at Disney on these animatronics. And so this makes me so excited because I'm like, look at what you guys are doing. It's so cool.
That is so cool.
I get so excited about that. The little kid in me is coming out. I'm like,
giddy.
I'm hyped. I will never visit the Hong Kong Disney.
No. No.
But they're putting one in Tokyo, and I'm hoping maybe the one here will get updated to this new animatronic.
Did you hear about Disneyland Paris?
Ooh, which part?
They're debuting a Marvel drone show.
Yes! They've done drones.
Oh my gosh, that would be so cool. I've only seen videos of like drone shows. And then I'm like, well, a drone show plus Marvel/Disney, that's going to be incredible.
Yep. So Paris did a drone show. I think I don't know if they debuted like drones last year or the year before. They were doing it for their 30th anniversary specials. It looked phenomenal. And so I'm so excited to see what they do with it there. I'm hoping they bring some of that over into doing some drone shows here, maybe.
I would love that.
I don't want to take away from fireworks. I love fireworks, but I also understand that fireworks is a massive expense. So anything they can do to cut that expense down, like drones, you just program and reuse. Fireworks, you have to buy new ones multiple times for multiple shows a day. So like, I get it, but
yeah, Ugh, I'll be watching that on YouTube when it debuts. That's for sure.
So good. All right, we'll start getting into some of the drama. There's lawsuits against Disney in both Disneyland and Disney World regarding their annual passes. So Disneyland pass holders and Disney World pass holders in separate lawsuits are suing Disney because they feel that Disney has, what's the word that they used? Disney is purposefully blocking them and are unfairly prioritizing single day and multi-day ticket holders as opposed to pass holders and being able to have park access because it allows them to gain more money from these single day and multi-day ticket holders. So they're saying Disney has unfairly changed their contracts, because with this park reservation system, if they don't get in quick enough, they're blocked out from entering the park. And like that $1,600 park pass, the Magic Key at Disneyland, that's their top tier. You're not supposed to have blackout dates. You're supposed to be able to go to the park whenever you want. So they're saying that the park reservation system that they've put into place is unfair to pass holders because it's blocking them out on days they're not supposed to be blocked out on.
I don't know if I agree.
I don't.
It's like, if, okay, you have a pass, you're a pass holder, great. Make sure you get there early, or make sure you get your reservation. Like, it's not that, like, you're not that special. Like, you're special because you have a pass, but you're not so special where you get out of the reservation because they can only have so many people in the park.
Exactly. And here's where it also gets me. So maybe during when they first reopened post-COVID and they had really, really tight restrictions, that might be where pass holders, I think, felt it more. You couldn't get in because park reservations were all done. Maybe around holidays, they find it difficult to get in. If you pull open Disney park reservations right now, there is not a single day that is blocked, either Disney World or Disneyland. So if you're booking something right now, as soon as tomorrow, none of these parks are blocked. So even if they wake up one day and go, man, I want to go to Magic Kingdom today, they can. It's not blocked out from them. They just have to have the park reservation. So like, sorry you didn't choose what day you wanted to go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Plan a day in advance.
I understand the frustration over the park passes. And I truly think this probably was a lawsuit that came into play more so last year and the previous year when the parks had first reopened. I can imagine it was much harder to get park reservations. But still, nobody was flying. So it was all for the locals anyway. Those are the ones with the nice little $450 passes that can get in basically whenever they want. So this feels weird to me. Disney is trying to dismiss it based on a couple things. So all of the contracts say terms and conditions are subject to change. This is a term and condition that changed based on what was happening in the world.
A global pandemic.
Yep. And they're stating the same thing, that they're not blocked from entering on those dates. They just have another step that they have to take in order to go. You have to join in the park reservation system in order to go.
And I don't think that's like, you're not above.
I don't think that's asking too much.
No, I hope they get that dismissed, because I just think that's kind of silly. Like, even if I had a pass, I still, like, that's the rules. I get it.
Yeah. There's some things that they might have some ability on. Like, they're saying that for Disney World, the Platinum and Platinum Plus Pass has changed so much, their contract, based on some of these new updates, that it doesn't even look like the original one that they purchased whenever these people purchased their passes. So if you're getting to a point where I purchased this, meaning I had no blackout dates, I could go whenever I wanted at these times, etc., and it has now changed to these are your blackout dates, you have to do XYZ before you get this, like, okay, maybe they've changed it too much at that point. But then also I just downgrade my pass. Like, I just or cancel it.
Yeah.
One of the two. Maybe it's because we're not pass holders.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I
forget like you pass holders.
I feel like even if I was, I don't know. I don't know if I'd have a problem. Like, I'm a planner, though. So if I knew, okay, I want to kind of go to Disney, I'd plan like a couple days in advance, probably.
Right.
So it's not that hard.
Look, even if I woke up one day and was like, man, I really want to go to Disney tomorrow, I can. None of the park reservations are filled up.
Yeah.
Maybe don't go on a day of a park. Like, you probably can't wake up on April 3rd as a Disney World pass holder and go, man, I really want to go to Magic Kingdom today. Because that's when they're re-debuting Happily Ever After fireworks. I bet you the park's going to be sold out.
Well, same with Epcot on the 4th with the Tron thing.
Right. Magic Kingdom's got big days back to back. But yeah, like, it's going to be packed. Like, you probably can't wake up same day and pick it then. But
no.
Get
and
over
that's
yourselves.
Your own fault if you decide that that's what you're going to do.
Cray cray. Okay. Do you have anything else before we get into Mr. Peltz and the Trian group? Trian.
No, we talked about the fireworks coming back. Oh, hey, Hollywood Studios, that's Disney, right? Disney Hollywood Studios.
Yes.
There's a Roundup Rodeo barbecue restaurant.
It is frustrating me so much.
Have you seen the new pictures of the outside of it?
Yep.
It looks so good.
It does. It looks very good. They just need to pick an opening date and stick with it because they have pushed the opening of that restaurant back so many times.
Yeah,
Nobody knows when it's opening.
It said it was supposed to open in 2020, right?
I think so. Look, COVID, I get it.
Yeah.
But if it was supposed to open in 2020 and nothing shut down until mid 2020, you should have been a lot further along on this and you should have gotten back up and running in the last year.
Yeah. That's true.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
It looks very cool on the outside. I saw pictures and wow, that's like you're in Toy Story movie.
The concept is great. Disney doesn't have a super good track record with barbecue style food in their quick service or table service. It's usually very overcooked.
Maybe they'll change that.
Maybe it'll be a little bit better. Maybe they have some different options. I mean, I'm hoping. Because obviously we'll be eating there. My child is in love with Toy Story, so that's happening.
Yeah. I mean, I'd go just because it looks cool.
It looks amazing.
And then the popcorn buckets, Figment.
Oh, again. They make so much money off these stupid popcorn buckets.
Yeah. Sales reached capacity on opening day of Epcot International Festival of Arts.
I promise you that line was 6 hours plus long.
You couldn't stand in line. There's no way to stand in line. All of the mobile orders were booked.
I'm surprised they had mobile orders available.
It's crazy for a popcorn
God
bucket.
bless the people that got the mobile orders. Yeah, so those things, they're immediately on eBay for $800 a pop. Easy.
That is, and do people pay the $800?
Of course they do. So Figment is a huge, especially as an older Disney fan. I came into Disney after Figment was a really popular thing. And he's cute. He's a little purple dragon. He reminds me of Spyro. Why wouldn't I love him? But that is an icon for Epcot, and people are going to buy big bucks or spend big bucks to buy these things. So the market's going to come down. They'll probably be on resale for $200-$300 in the next year, but it's still insane.
That's still a lot for a popcorn bucket.
Yeah. Yep. I'm not spending more on a popcorn bucket than I'm spending on Jordans. Sorry.
Or a park ticket.
Or a park ticket, yes.
I could go to Disneyland.
That's 8 park tickets.
I could go to Disneyland. I could do a whole vacation for the price of a popcorn bucket.
No,
anyways. I don't think that was it. I think you're probably going to mention Mark Parker. It's a great name.
Mark Parker. So here, and this is what's going to kill me. I don't know if I talked about him on the podcast, but I 100% told Trey. I called this weeks ago.
I don't remember the name because I would have remembered Mark Parker because that's a tongue twister.
Mark Parker. So Mark Parker has been rumored as a possible successor to Bob Iger as the next CEO of Disney. So I started looking into him a couple weeks ago. He was the CEO of Nike for 13 or 15 years. And he is currently a Nike executive chairman. They just announced him. So he's been on Disney's board of directors since 2016. They have just announced him as chairman within the last week.
Mm-hmm.
So he's now head of the board of execs for Disney, or the board of directors, whichever way they call it. I am still convinced that he is probably a top option for a successor to Bob Iger right now. And I'm so mad that I didn't talk about this weeks ago because I would have been go back and listen to that podcast. But I talked about it with Trey a lot. I was like, hey. Also, maybe this means we get some Disney Jordans. So.
Oh, that would be sweet. Oh, I would spend money on those. That would not be good. Maybe I don't want that to happen because
I do.
My bank account wouldn't love me.
Nope. I do. I'll get a second job.
I would buy them for my whole family. Me, Mark, the boys.
I need it.
Yeah.
So Mark Parker, the new chairman to the board to Disney.
I mean, I wouldn't be
Speaking.
surprised if they're training him up, especially with that article you sent with the new succession plan they have to train up the next CEO.
Yeah. I'm going to be really interested in what happens in the next year and a half with that. Because it's going to be an interesting next 2-ish years.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they pick somebody good.
Yeah, you hope so.
Fingers crossed.
Someone who cares.
Yes.
I think that's really what they need to do, is just pick someone who's not all about the money, who just cares about what Walt cared about.
What I like about a pick like Mark Parker, he's been on the board with Disney for multiple years at this point, so he has a feel for how they run. But he's also an outsider. He didn't grow
Right.
up in the Disney parks and grow up in the Disney system. And there's something to be said for you started working a food concession in Disneyland and you worked your way up and now you're on the board of directors. Like there's something to be said for that. But I think it's also very difficult to maintain an unbiased look at trying to make changes. I like him coming in from a totally different company. He's been with Nike since 1979.
Oh,
So he's been
Wow.
with Nike for so long. Him coming into something that is slightly different is probably one a little scary for him, especially like Nike wasn't really big onto the media and the streaming like Disney's getting into, has been into obviously with movies and media. But I think he brings a really unique, interesting outside perspective
breath of
to
fresh air.
different success.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he hasn't been born and bred in these Disney groups.
Right.
He also probably doesn't have a lot of real close alliances with different people through the Disney Corporation. So like maybe he can't be bought to, okay, well, I like you more, so I'm going to do whatever I can to bring up your side of whatever part of Disney you are, as opposed to these other sides that need help. Like,
Right.
I think he's a good outside perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I like about it. I'm a big fan of outside perspectives.
Yeah. I mean, he then has a sense of, what it looks like from the outside and how he can change it to, I guess, look and be better then.
Yeah.
I like it.
Now, on the flip side, it's scary because maybe he'll take a bunch of the magic away because he doesn't care. I don't know.
I hope not. Yeah. I would hope not.
So interesting next few years as we see what happens. But speaking of board of directors, there has been some drama.
Yeah, I didn't even know about this till you sent me that today.
They are not saving the drama for your llama. Like it is full on. When I tell you, I have done so much research into this guy. This is insane. So Nelson Peltz, he is currently the CEO of the Trian Management Trian Group, which is an alternative management group based out of New York. I have no idea what that means. I didn't do enough research into that company. What I do know is that very recently, as in the last 3 to 4 months, he has purchased over 9.4 million shares of Disney stock, which is approximately $900 million worth of stock. He first made this purchase in November following, I think it was like the quarter earnings call. He bought $500 million and then bought another $400 million worth. So he currently has $900 million. As he sits right now, he is a non-executive chair for both Wendy's, Cisco, and Madison Square Garden Company. He's a former director of the Heinz Company. So, ketchup and all that jazz.
I love
They do other
Wendy's.
things. This man has been begging for a spot on the board of directors and has been threatening if they don't give him a spot, he's going to do a proxy contest. So for those of you who need to Google this, because I did, a proxy contest is a situation in which a group of shareholders or investors in a company join forces in an attempt to oppose and vote out the current management or board of directors. So it's like staging a coup. Like you're coming in and you're like, either you give me this spot or I'm going to propose a proxy contest and we're going to vote for it. And you're basically going to vote me onto the board based off your stockholders, or they're going to vote me off the board and like I don't get a spot. Every single board of directors that this man has been on is because he threatened a proxy contest and did it.
Really?
Every single one. He was the former director at Heinz following a proxy contest where they forced out 5 directors of the board, and he and one of his buddies replaced them. He won a proxy contest at Procter & Gamble, which initially was lost, but he demanded a recount, and in the recount it found that he won, so he gained a spot on that board. He tried it again in 2015 at DuPont and lost that time. And so now he has been threatening for months, if you don't give me a spot, I'm going to do a proxy contest and I'm going to get a spot on your board of directors. And that's exactly what he's done. He has started a proxy contest in which at this next annual meeting, the stockholders have to vote whether they want him to be on the board of directors or not. This man is literally, you give me what I want or I'm going to buy enough of your company to where you have to give it to me.
I feel like he sounds like a spoiled brat.
Yeah.
You know, that's like a child. Like, he's like man-child.
It's crazy.
Like, you will give me what I want or I am going to have a hissy fit.
Right.
That's crazy.
So it's going to be another very interesting next couple weeks to see what happens coming out of this vote. Everything Disney's putting out. I have the presentation hold open, the whatever you want to call it, the SEC for the stockholders that Disney sent out to. This is all the information for our company right now. Stockholders, you need to make a vote. Everything that they're putting out is, we do not support this guy. Do not vote to put this guy on the board of directors.
So do you think that he probably won't win? Or because he owns so much? He owns a lot of stock.
And I don't have a good enough sense of how much stock is out there to know what portion of it he owns. Because if he owns a majority stock, then he gets it.
Yeah.
I don't think he does. He owns a large amount, and I don't think it's a majority. I'm really hoping that they say no. And what I think is going to be helpful in that is that Disney is so like, most of these companies play a political game, right? Like, we don't think this person 100%. Would be beneficial for XYZ. Disney has literally said, he is stupid, you're not doing this.
Well,
there was...
Yeah.
I read the statement earlier. So this is direct from the statement that's going out to stockholders. In deciding not to recommend Mr. Peltz, the directors considered a number of factors, including that despite months of engagement, Mr. Peltz nor the Tran Group representatives at the meeting had not actually presented a single strategic idea for Disney. This man says that he doesn't like XYZ, but he will not give them ideas that they need to do outside of telling them they need to either buy Hulu completely or get out of streaming altogether. That is the only thing he has submitted to them as, you need to make this decision.
So he's begging to become, what, a director?
He wants to be on the board of directors.
On the board of directors. So he's begging for that, but he has no solution for the problems that he's saying they're having.
Yeah. He says that he
then
hated the Fox.
Want them?
I don't know.
Why would they want him?
I don't know.
If he's bringing nothing but maybe money.
And that's where I think that stockholders will hopefully make a good decision and be like, no, we're not going to put him on the board of directors. Currently, the reasons why he says he wants to be on is that he didn't like the Fox acquisition. I mean, what are you going to do about that now? It's acquired. Are you going to sell it back? The current strategy has resulted in profitability. I think he means specifically on the streaming side.
Yeah.
And then he thinks that that Disney should either leave streaming completely or acquire all of Hulu, which Disney currently owns 2/3 of Hulu, Comcast owns the other third, which was news to me. I didn't actually know that. But that's the only thing that he's presented as like, you should do either this or this, which by the way, if they dump Disney Plus, they're going to lose so many people because that is
Disney
that
Plus.
you and me, that is our lifeline
It
with
really
our
is.
kids and our sanity.
It really is.
Apparently he has also said he wants to get access to internal numbers to tell other members if they're missing out on investment opportunities.
So he's in it for the money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we're streaming on Twitch chat right now, and someone said he's forcing his way in at a convenient time to try and make bank on stock. It has to be. That's why he wants in.
I see no reason that this guy should be brought onto the board of directors.
No.
Like he doesn't. His experience. What they outlined in the meeting thing too. All of his experience and success comes from his family business that they brought up, sold, expanded. And it's all in like packaged goods. So his family was a wholesale food distributor company. And then he's bought into Heinz, Kraft, Pepsi, like all of these, I don't want to say single source products, but you know what I mean? Like just manufactured goods. He has absolutely no experience and no knowledge of media, streaming, entertainment. He brings nothing to what Disney is at its heart. Like, oh, what? You're going to recommend that they mass produce Mickey bars in the ice cream stores? My guy, they already do that. Yeah. What more do you want?
Yeah, it seems like he just doesn't know what Disney's about. I don't know. It just seems weird. And the only reason he would want in is to make money.
I can't think of any other reason. Okay. The only thing, and I'm not getting political on you guys. I don't want to start any political debates. He is Nelson Peltz. He is staunchly Republican, staunchly Republican. And I am wondering if he clearly opposed the statements that were made by Disney with the Don't Say Gay bill that was out in the spring and summer, that was causing a lot of strife between the governor of Florida and Disney as a whole, and is leading to Disney possibly losing a massive part of their infrastructure if he so heavily disagreed that he wants to be on the board in order to push them more towards conservative Republican thinking. Because Disney as a whole, while trying to maintain neutral, has leaned far more left or liberal in the last 20 years or so. So it wouldn't surprise me if he's trying to come on for both a money and a political stance.
They always got to bring politics into it, I feel. Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of Twitch chat, frozen food for the pizza spring rolls. I am down. I want the spring rolls so bad. If you start mass producing those spring rolls and they get sold in like Target and Walmart, oh my God, I would buy so many of them. If that's his platform, if that is his idea, if he comes out and he's like, we are going to push frozen foods from the park. Fine. You know, maybe we give him a chance.
I feel like that is not a good idea.
Maybe we give him a chance.
Oh no.
That's not going to be what happens, but it would be interesting. I think it's important to note that Disney has offered an info sharing pact with an NDA, so a non-disclosure agreement. So they want some of his ideas, but the offer they gave him did not include the ability to sit in on board meetings, so he wouldn't be able to vote for anything. So they're like, look, we'll share information with you. You share ideas with us and credit you as needed. I don't know, whatever. But you can't vote in anything. And he doesn't want it.
Oh,
he's like, no, I want to be on the board.
Yeah. I just don't think it's a good idea.
This guy is a piece of work. It's very interesting. I love all of Disney's statements being like, he has not a single good idea. Oh, so there's things that Nelson Peltz has said. he's not looking to replace Bob Iger. That's like his main statement. Like, I don't want to replace Bob Iger in management. A direct quote is that from his company that he's CEO of, Trian's view is that Mr. Iger shouldn't be back in control of the company. He does not want Bob Iger to be CEO, interim CEO, and he has said that multiple times. So his claim that he doesn't want to replace Bob Iger is false.
Do we know why?
Also, Bob Iger wants to replace Bob Iger, so
do we know why he doesn't like Bob Iger?
He liked Bob Chapek.
Yeah, he did.
He was a big fan of Bob Chapek, which kind of just tells me all I need to know that he's not a fan of Bob Iger then, because I think that their ideas for money are different.
Right.
Raising prices, doing the, I don't know. So he was a big fan of Bob Chapek, and he's not Bob Iger.
Yeah, that's so interesting and so telling. Like when Iger when he got brought back, like all the employees almost of Disney were just so stoked about it. Mm-hmm. So it shows that something was wrong with Chapek, and the fact that guy liked Chapek, it's like, oh no.
Hey. So he says that he just wants to meet with the board to present his strategic and operating initiatives. That meeting happened on January 10th. And for Disney, he presented no strategy, no initiatives, no ideas, and no plan. So you got you met with the board, but you didn't give them anything. Not a single thing. So what do you want them to do? Why do you want to be on the board? Present me your plan. Oh, yeah, I will. But you got to vote me. What was... You have to vote for the bill. The bill. That's what this feels like. You have to approve this before I give you anything.
He sounds like a dummy.
Probably. You keep doing this proxy contest after you buy a majority of the stock, or you bully 10 people. Whatever board it was has outperformed the S&P by 900, whatever the metric is annually. At a minimum, the Madison Square Garden Sports Board, which he has been on since 2014, has never outperformed the S&P by that amount annually. So on the main board that he's currently a non-exec of and has been on for almost 10 years, has never done the thing that he's claiming that he's done on all of these boards. I don't know, sir.
Yeah. Sounds like a bully with money.
Yep. What more can I throw this money at?
No.
Man, you're 80. Retire. Chill.
He's that old?
He's 80.
Oh, yeah. Stop working. Go. Yeah.
I don't want you on the board. You're not going to be on the board in 5 years. Sorry. Retire.
No.
Okay.
He's a risky biscuit.
So.
Oh, man. Yeah. I'm not about it.
No. That was a lot. I think that's everything. I got through all of my notes, other than some Disney Plus stuff, but we have time. We can talk about that next week.
Yes, I got through all my notes too.
Woo. Awesome. Well, thank you all for being here. Thank you, Twitch chat. I appreciate you being here. Cozy loves laughing at your comments. I love laughing at your comments. Y'all bring good insight. So if you guys are listening to this and you want to watch live, check us out at twitch.tv/cozy. We have a blast over here. Chat loses its mind. You can enjoy chatting with them. As always, you can listen to us on Apple and Spotify. You can watch it back if you missed the live. We'll be on YouTube. Link is in all of our bios wherever you see this. So check out the YouTube to watch it back. Shorts go up on YouTube Shorts, Instagram, and TikTok.
Yes.
Sorry, I just totally lost my train of thought. Thank you all for being here. All the socials, blow them up. Let us know. Give us some love. Let us know you guys are checking them out and watching. A couple of them are hitting. We've got like 2,000-3,000. I think one was like, 10,000 views on something weird.
We
The
got
like
a
hard
couple.
hidden algorithm.
Yeah, we got a couple over 10K on Instagram. So
Yeah. Check those out. Cozy does an amazing job editing those. I'm so grateful for you because I can't figure that out to save my life. So thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you. Um, next week, come hang out with us. We're gonna talk villains. You don't want to miss
Woohoo.
that. It's gonna
No,
be fun. I think it's gonna be another controversial topic, and I'm really excited.
it will be because I'm even surprised with some of my picks. So
Woo!
get ready.
Get ready. All right. Well, y'all, thank you again so much for hanging out. We'll hope to see you next week. And until then, hang out with us and get tangled up in Disney. Bye.
Bye.